Resident Evil Village is an awesome entry to Capcom's beloved survival horror franchise, and along my 50 plus hours of playtime, I picked up a few handful and useful tips and tricks that I think have not been covered here on YouTube, and I think it will surely help you out in your own journey. Now, before we proceed, this video does have endgame spoilers, so be warned. If you have completed the game once, then please continue watching. Otherwise, stop the video here and revisit it once you have done so. With that out of the way, here are my advanced tips and tricks for Resident Evil Village. Number 1. Quick turning. Now, quick turning was introduced back in the original Resident Evil 3, where you press a certain combination of buttons and your character would do a quick 180-degree turn. Now, this move is very useful to quickly move your character away from imminent danger, and it has been kept in Resident Evil games ever since. But when playing Resident Evil Village, a lot of people might not even notice it being there because it's in a first-person perspective, right? But I assure you it is there, and for controller players especially, this might be very useful because the default sensitivity of the game is way too low, and quick turning, in contrast to turning yourself, is much quicker and much more efficient. So the way to pull it off is quite simple. All you have to do is press the circle button or the B button while moving backwards to do a quick turn. Number 2. Despawning Lady Dimitrescu. Lady Dimitrescu, or Lady D, is Resident Evil Village's version of Mr. X, and although her part in the game is very short-lived, she can be a hassle to deal with when exploring the castle and may keep you from finding some of the hidden treasures in the area. But there is an easy way to make sure you don't have to worry about her anymore. Now, here is how it works. You must progress to the point where you have all the masks to open the locked door to get to the coffin with the poison dagger. Now, interact with the coffin, but do not, and I repeat, do not interact with the dead body after opening it. And once you do that, if you go back to the castle, you'll suddenly find out that Lady D is just nowhere to be found, and you can explore the castle without worrying about a 9-foot-tall invincible vampire chasing after you. Or maybe that is exactly what you want, who knows. Number 3. Get extra ammo for free. Now, this one is a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. So during the course of the game, players can find magazine upgrades by either finding them in the world or buying them from the Duke. Now, these upgrades are really important too, as having a bigger magazine means you have to reload less often during a fight. Now, what you may not know, that if you upgrade your weapon while it has an empty clip, the game will automatically refill your magazine for you, free of charge, and it can prove incredibly useful when you're running low on supplies, especially on the higher difficulty. So yeah, try this one out. Number 4. Do more damage with shotguns. The shotgun is going to be your best friend throughout your first playthrough. It boasts good damage and optimal for taking out enemies at close range. But there is a trick you can use which will increase the DPS of the shotgun for free. Pulling it off is very easy as well. All you have to do is just empty your shotgun. But instead of reloading by pressing square or X, depending on which platform you're playing, press the fire button and Ethan will do what is called a tactical reload. This has 2 benefits. One, that it's actually a bit faster than normal in terms of fire rate, and second is you will be constantly doing damage and you don't have to stop and reload the weapon fully. It is an extremely powerful tool that, if used correctly, will make short work of any enemy or boss in the game, and a lot of speedrunners are using this strategy as well. So go on ahead and try it out. Number 5. Deploy mines quickly. Mines are a very powerful tool that can be used against everything in this game. With decent damage output, it is generally recommended to be used against bosses, right? But did you know that you can deploy mines way quicker than intended? So to use this trick, all you have to do is hold the block button and then press the fire button as fast as possible. you can deploy a full stack of mines in just a few seconds, and it is much quicker than doing it normally. A lot of speedrunners use this strategy to inflict big damage on bosses, and this can be a very useful trick to use, especially on higher difficulties, so keep this one in mind. Number 6. Defeating Heisenberg. Now, the Heisenberg boss fight is believed to be one of the toughest boss fights in the game, and this statement is particularly true on the game's hardest difficulty called Village of Shadows. He is relentless and does a lot of damage in the first phase of the fight. My biggest tip is to use the cannon whenever he comes close, as it is designed to create some breathing space between you and Heisenberg. Now, a lot of people may not know that the whole arena is actually an oval shape. So the first thing that I do whenever I do this fight now is, as soon as I go out into the arena, I take a hard left and I keep on going until I end the barrier. Now, Heisenberg spawns on the complete opposite side, which will give me enough time to do enough damage and to keep him at bay. And whenever he gets close, I just use my cannon and reset his position. Keep on doing this and you will get through the first part of the boss quite easily. Now, what about the second phase, you might ask? What if I told you that the second phase of the boss is actually free? All you have to do is get really close to Heisenberg and strafe in a circle while shooting, and that's it. It's incredibly easy and makes the second part of the fight a complete joke. Here's a bonus tip: you can actually shoot while blocking. And my final tip for this video: shooting Miranda in the body. The boss fight with Mother Miranda is no walk in the park. With a massive health bar and her wide moveset, it can be quite challenging on higher difficulties. What makes it even more challenging is the small size of the boss's critical spot, which is effectively her head. And a lot of players find it difficult to consistently land headshots on her, so did I, as she moves around a lot and moves very quickly. I have found the best and most consistent way to damage her is to just shoot her in the lower body. It is a bigger target and it is easier to hit. Doing consistent damage is more important here because your chances of success dwindle the longer the fight goes on. Now here is footage of me fighting Mother Miranda, and as you can see, I try to pick my shots on her body rather than her head, and I make short work of her. So those are my advanced tips and tricks for Resident Evil Village. If you find this information helpful, then make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more gaming videos like this. I also stream Mondays through Thursdays on my Twitch channel, so hop on in if you fancy a chat. This has been Nexus. Take care, gamers. Godspeed.